Of all the miserable lives being lived in the mud and squalor of northern France, the unaccompanied children here would, you might think, be most deserving of compassion. European conventions say that if they have family already in the UK, then they should have a right to come for their protection. But the UK government continues to insist, despite that they should seek asylum in France or elsewhere. That has meant that activists trying to help the children have had no choice but to take a handful of cases to this anonymous building in central London, which will decide who is right.
Whatever the ruling today, it's clear to us that government has to act. It's completely unacceptable to leave desperate children trying to reach their loved ones and force them to choose between traffickers and train tracks. That's something no child should have to face, and government has to take responsibility and act immediately.
One of the cases involves the teenage brother of Ahmed. They're from Deraa in Syria. Ahmed had himself almost died after hiding for 10 hours in a refrigerated lorry to get across from Calais. His younger brother followed him to Calais as well and is now there alone.
I feel like my hands are tied because I can't do anything. The conditions in Calais are so dangerous and anything could happen to my brother. This is the only thing I can do to help him come here.
The flow of refugees through Europe is often described as the biggest since World War II. In terms of Europe's response, that seems to be where the comparison ends. In the Second World War, of course, Britain helped with the so-called Kindertransport, which saved thousands of children from Nazi Germany. Now, however, this government sees no moral or legal obligation to look after the interests of hundreds of children who are also victims of war and who are no more than an hour away by train in Calais. To emphasise the dangers, a service was held for a young Afghan boy who had family in the UK and who also tried to cross in a lorry a couple of weeks ago. He suffocated. Religious figures and civil rights campaigners laid flowers in his memory. This is the risk the children of Calais run if they want the protection of their family in Britain. Laurence Lee, Al Jazeera, London.